Welcome back to Passionate World Talk Radio. Educate, enlighten, entertain. And this morning, our special guest on Cool Your Heels with Lillian is Lisa Welsh, who works with Homes for Heroes. And one of the reasons why I wanted to invite Lisa on today is that veterans are still being forgotten even during this pandemic. And everything has been blown up out of proportion because of the pandemic. And I believe it's very important not to forget the veterans. They don't forget us when they go out to fight. And when they come home and they get honorably discharged, we should be there for them. So Lisa, could you just give a little background of who you are and a little background about Homes for Heroes, and then we'll soldier on.
Yes, absolutely. Totally agree. Thank you for that shout out to our veterans. So I'm Lisa Welsh. I'm the director of the Homes for Heroes Foundation. A little background to understand our organization. Homes for Heroes has two parts. So we have a program that was started after 9/11. There was a real estate agent and her family that felt really passionate about giving back to heroes through what they knew, which was real estate. So we recognize our hero groups, not only the veterans and military, but also firefighters, law enforcement, healthcare workers, and teachers. And I think we can all give an extra shout out to teachers during this time as
Absolutely.
well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So all of those groups are really about, service and serving their community, serving their country. So we recognize all of those groups. So the Homes for Heroes program is about saving money when those individual heroes want to buy, sell, or refinance their home. So each individual hero gets what we call hero rewards. They can save $2,400 or more. And that's really an important thing to help some of these individual heroes. It's not always the most high paying job. And, it can help them get into their first home, help them do some repairs, those sorts of things. So that's our way of saying thank you through the Homes for Heroes program. The Homes for Heroes Foundation, then, the company wanted to even expand its circle of giving even more. So they said, how else can we give back? So more than 10 years ago, they formed the Homes for Heroes Foundation, which is a charitable nonprofit. So when the hero buys or sells using the Homes for Heroes program, a portion of the earnings from the company go to the foundation. So that's something that's really unique about the Homes for Heroes Foundation is that 100% of their administrative costs are covered by the company. So you know that the foundation as a charity is truly 100% going to help those in need, like we did with the National Coalition of Homeless Veterans grant that we did last month.
And it's something for other companies to think about when you do hire a veteran, and even in today's economy, things are tight.
Yes.
They were tight before, but now they're really tight. And you might want to include as part of your benefits package something like this, so that if a veteran has a new baby coming in, or they're going to be taking care of grandparents or their parents for whatever the reason, then they have access, but more importantly, they're going to know about something like this. I'm pretty sure that Home for Heroes isn't a known entity that most of the veterans even know exist. And yet it's something that should be on everybody's tongue.
Right. And it's interesting. It's interesting with veterans. A lot of them don't know all of their benefits. Sometimes it's a little confusing. Sometimes there's just this wide variety and figuring out what applies. So, knowing about their VA loans, knowing about programs such as ours, Homes for Heroes, that are there to help them, I think is really important. A couple quick comments on what you said there. So Homes for Heroes, we have employees, we have many heroes, former heroes, veterans within our organization, which is great. We actually have 3,300 affiliated real estate agents and loan officers across all 50 states, and many of them have hero backgrounds. They're retired law enforcement or, veterans themselves who have gone into real estate as a second career. So there's all of those aspects. But what we do then through the foundation to support our veterans is, a grant like what we did last month. So May is Military Appreciation Month. This was their third year in a row doing a $50,000 grant. And that fund goes to the National Coalition for Homeless Veterans. What's great about them, you mentioned jobs are important. So at the National Coalition for Homeless Vets, NCHV, are sort of a policy organization and an umbrella. So all of these different organizations across the country can learn best practices and share those. And they've really made tremendous strides. Of course, the problem isn't gone by any means, and it's ongoing. But by having an umbrella organization like that, they're able to really, showcase some of the best practices out there, and they've made a lot of progress. And that you have to deal holistically with employment, housing, and other things. So this $50,000 grant, we do different organizations each year. We use the National Coalition to recommend the best organizations to us. So we do 5 grants of $10,000 each. And this year we chose Swords to Plowshares, which is out of San Francisco, Easter Seals, Oregon, the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless, U.S. Vets out of Houston, and the Society of St. Vincent de Paul out of Florida. And every year we pick different ones. One thing we try to do, there's never enough money to go around, and there's lots of great organizations. So what we try to do in doing this big grant is to push it out there for the community, get maybe some local news coverage or talk about it, on a platform like this, and let people know those organizations are there and what they do. And this year, between COVID, the challenges with health and safety, their inability to hold some fundraisers, these organizations really, really need that extra support this year. So it was great that we were able to share the $50,000, but also share that spotlight and hopefully get more people to learn about the organizations and support them.
Is it possible for your foundation there are a lot of office buildings, commercial buildings that are now empty. They're not being used. And rather than have them fall into disrepair, I would think that it would be an interesting take if a company or something could buy out a block of these buildings and put in veterans or police or fires or even teachers who want to start their own home business and put them in to this building with perhaps reduced rent or something, but able to house them in one really large building in which they can all help each other out and yet have the ability to reach out to the community and say, we're on our feet, this is what we're doing, this is what we hope to bring to the community, and we don't want you to look at us as, victims or as losers, because a lot of people do. It doesn't matter whether you're a policeman or a fireman or a teacher, you all have families, you all have in-laws, you all have parents or cousins that you want to reach out and help. And sometimes it's difficult to do that if you're all sequestered in your own private home offices.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting to see with the pandemic what happens with different properties. It's also interesting, as tough as the times are economically for everyone, our hero groups are still very much in need. And I think it just goes to show how critical they are to everything, to their communities all across the country in different ways, because those jobs are always needed. We need our healthcare heroes. We need our teachers. We need our law enforcement and military all the time. So, they're still going strong. And I think the thank you is a big, big part of what we do. If nothing else, we ask everyone to go thank a hero today and let them know that you're there and that you respect them and care about them and appreciate what they do. One of our affiliates in Florida, a real estate agent, had gone to her local school and worked with some school children to write some thank you notes to first responders without anything too particular on her mind, but really just wanted to work with kids on their thank yous and gratitude for our first responders. And then you'll remember about a year ago, those California wildfires just devastated whole towns. It was very serious. We gave a $25,000 grant from the Homes for Heroes Foundation to help those firefighters personally impacted. They were losing their own homes while they were the community and they were out there fighting those fires. In addition to that grant, we were able to send along those thank you letters. And I do think so much of it is just about, staying positive, showing appreciation, appreciating what's there. The grant that we just did for the National Coalition for Homeless Veterans, Easter Seals, Oregon, already sent us a thank you from one of their veterans. This gentleman had been living in a trailer on a property with no running water, no electricity. They were able to get him housed in stable housing and use some of our funds to help with a welcome home kit. And this gentleman just had the huge smile on his face. They sent a picture, it was sort of, towels and cleaning products and all those things that cost you money right off the bat and getting settled in a new home. And he said, thank you so much for helping me and giving me my dignity back. So that's a big, big part of what we do. And, obviously we'd love for people to go to to support what we do. If you're a hero, you can use the program. The program feeds the foundation. If you know a real estate agent or a loan officer, tell them about the program, tell your family and friends about it. But if nothing else, thank a hero today. Just go out there and say thank you. Our affiliates, again, we have 3,300 across the country. They're constantly going into sending a pizza to the local hospital because they know their healthcare workers are just working around the clock right now, stopping by with gift baskets to the fire station and the police station. So that's really, at the end of the day, that's our passion, and what we're driven by is to say thank you to our heroes.
So what kind of educational programs have you come up with so possibly you can go into the school districts, or you can teach children as they're growing up as part of their civic duty to let veterans know, firefighters know, the policemen know, the healthcare, anybody who's out there on the front line. And front lines differ. You don't always have to be facing an enemy with a gun. Right. There are other type of frontline heroes that are created practically every day. So how do you go about educating a public that probably needs to be reminded of what their civic duties are?
Right. And that's, again, where all of these affiliates, these agents and loan officers, they're giving back, from their profession. I think all of us feel very proud of giving back through our work in the way that we do. And our agents and loan officers are out there in those communities, going to schools, giving presentations, talking to teachers, holding events. We have some affiliates have done some wonderful community events where they're having the fire truck there. They're having games for kids. They're having a charitable aspect. We had done a fundraiser for a law enforcement officer who was injured and needed help with his medical bills. So that we present the check. The kids are there. They're having fun. Kids love climbing on a fire truck and asking questions and learning more about it. So I think part of it is just visibility and having positive experiences, and also leading by example. I think if we as adults, show that appreciation and honor and respect our heroes, kids see what the adults do.
Yeah, they do. They pretty much mimic their behavior very well. So are you on all 50 states of the US of A? So how would you get, if a person was interested in contacting you, is it the old-fashioned phone number, or do they go and visit you? Is your site pretty universal so that it's the same website for everybody in all 50 states?
Yes, it's the same. That's the easiest way is to go to homesforheroes.com. And then you can say, hey, I'm interested in buying or selling or refinancing, and we'll let you know about local affiliates in your area and get you hooked up with someone to talk to. If you know someone in your area, as I said, we have a pretty large contingent at this point all across the country. So sometimes they'll have a car wrap, or they'll be wearing a shirt. I'll have Homes for Heroes and our logo on their shirt. Go up and say hi and introduce yourself. And they're always happy to help. Like I said, they're at a lot of community events out there showing their support. So there's a lot of in-person. But just to learn more about us, you can go to homesforheroes.com is the best way.
I do have another thought, maybe something your foundation would be very interested in. A lot of the nonprofits, I know that NPR does this and the local PBS stations do this. Heads up. Try to create a program whereby people who want to leave something behind, like a will or a trust, whether it's a house or some land or something that would be beneficial to everybody, and encourage them to leave something to the foundation.
Right.
And that way you could start building up a trust of properties or monies that are set aside specifically, because I really think that these type of endowments are a good idea and a good investment for people who are retiring.
Right. No, that is something that can be a really good program for people to leave funds that way. I would let anyone, again, who's just interested in donating, whether it's a endowment or $5. We have some people who like to give $11 monthly because in honor of Veterans Day on November 11th. But the thing to keep in mind is, again, because Homes for Heroes covers all the expenses of the Homes for Heroes Foundation, and then when we give our grants to other nonprofits, we require that the funds be used 100% to help the heroes directly. It's not spent on overhead, fundraising, and other things. So anyone who does want to donate, again, you can go to homesforheroes.com to the foundation. If you do donate, it goes 100% to the heroes, which I think is unique and really worthwhile and something that's special about our program.
Absolutely. And seniors or college kids, this would be a wonderful foundation for you to intern at. It will give you the ability to learn how to interact with people, how to solve problems, and also how to give back.
Right.
And that's something that every kid and adult should learn how to do anyway. So it's something to think about. So please, Lisa, give everybody all that information again so they won't get lost on the internet.
Yes, we're Homes for Heroes. So it's HOMESFORHEROES, homesforheroes.com. You can go chat with us, learn more about us. Just again, if you're a hero, if you're looking to buy, sell, or refinance, reach out to us. If you're not right now, but you know other heroes who are, family or friends, if you know a real estate agent or loan officer, just spread the word about Homes for Heroes and what we do. We're really proud of it. I think it's a tremendous benefit. And the way that we have a circle of giving is pretty unique in terms of having not only an individual hero award to say thank you that way, but then in turn to feed our foundation. And if nothing else, please go thank a hero today.
Absolutely. Or bake them some cookies, because if anybody deserves it, they do. They really do put themselves on the line mentally, emotionally, and physically.
Absolutely.
And such dedication is not anything that one should take advantage of, nor should they just take it for granted either, because these folks don't have to do it.
Right. And now more than ever, I think everyone's eyes have really been on our healthcare heroes who are out there on the front lines of the pandemic that's going on. And also teachers, huge shout out for every parent like myself who tried to do a little homeschooling over the past few weeks. It's tough, right? So I think
it's tough. It's really tough. And for those who are homeschooling their kids, sign your child up for a yoga class or meditation class. I have 3 grandkids, and the youngest is 7, and he has the ants in his pants type syndrome, driving dad crazy because dad also works at home for his office.
Right.
And they finally signed the child up for yoga, and with yoga came meditation. And I'm not going to say he's 100% cured. Those ants are still circulating in his pants, but he's not running in and bothering his father every 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, it's tough on the kids. It's tough on the kids. It's tough on the parents. It's kind of a new normal that we're all adjusting to. But, the same thing since 9/11, our heroes have been there for us every step of the way. It's been true every day since then. It continues to be true today. And I think now is really a time to shine a spotlight on them and what they do for us.
Absolutely. So I want to thank everybody for joining us. And ladies and gentlemen, and adults of all ages, you can see this video interview all over again with Lisa Welsh. It's lisa.welsh@homesforheroes.com. The website is homeforheroes.com. Please go over and say hello to Lisa and all the other people who work within the foundation. You can see this video interview all over again on amfm247.com. Every Tuesday evening from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern. It's amfm247.com/Lillian Cauldwell. Go look it up. You can also see on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on youtube.com/pwrnetwork_PW Talk Radio. Also on the website, https://passionateworldtalkradio.com. Right-hand side menu, scroll down. Cool Your Heels with Lillian, click on it. I know it gets involved, but you can also hear the audio, ladies and gentlemen, on iHeart, iTunes, Spreaker, Spotify, Podcast, Podbean, Amazon, Alexa, to name a few. So please enjoy yourself. And before you go away and stray, Antoine Ferrand said this to say in 1901, "We may despair of knowing, we must not despair of judging." So thank you all very much for listening. Have a safe weekend, and remember, wear those masks.